For the consistently excellent Jelly Jam record label, among other things. Hi, Luke.
Hello, Colin.
Thanks for dropping in. When did you first begin making your own music, and where did you do it? Have you always worked at home, or?
Not at first. No, the first Jelly Jam stuff was done at Cold Sweat Studios in London, and that was really that took a lot of time, but that's where the first stuff was done. So it took a long time.
So when did Jelly Jam first come together?
It's about 2 years ago. I decided to set up a shop in Brighton called Jelly Jam Records, and we decided to start a label at the same time to like cater for the hard sort of dance techno and nothing else.
Right.
And that's really what we did.
Because there wasn't many other labels in England doing that sort of thing at the time, was it?
No, at the time it was like it was quite dry, but I sort of had a feeling that it was going to get there in the end, and that there was people who were into it.
Were you actually DJing at that time?
Yeah, I was actually just before that. I just finished doing a year DJing at Troll, Heaven.
Oh yeah.
Which was, through 88 and 89, that was absolutely mad.
So what sort of stuff were you playing down there?
Well, it's strictly acid, really.
Right.
And just crazy. A lot, very similar to stuff now, but, not so fast.
Right. Yeah. So, did you actually set up Jelly Jam on your own, or were you working with other people?
I set it up with a partner who wanted to put some money into it. And also all the music I did with a guy called Alan Sage, who I've known him before that, and we decided to go for it all the time together on Jelly Jam.
Right. Are you actually a musician? I mean, do you play musical instruments? Or?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I can read music and all that kind of stuff, but I don't actually sort of really work like that.
Okay. Well, the first release on Jelly Jam was Translucent. And we're going to play a track off the first one, Momentary Vision.
Yeah.
Listen to it. Colin Faver on Kiss FM. My special guest tonight, Luke Slater. That was Translucent Momentary Vision, first release on Jelly Jam Records. Do you think being a DJ helped you when you made your music?
Oh yeah,
gave you a good idea of the sort of things that work.
It's the most important thing, I think. It gives you the idea of what actually works on the dance floor and putting it together in a way that does work. So without that, I don't think it would be possible at all.
So what sort of artists do you think have inspired you? Anybody in particular from, say, Detroit or something?
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say Derek May, really, because everyone does, really. But I mean, the first influences, Kraftwerk and Cabaret Voltaire, people like that. But it's really Derek May, Cole Craig that actually are the latest sort of influences in the music.
Have you always just listened to dance music, or do you listen to bits of everything?
I'll listen to anything that's got strange noises in it, really.
Yeah, me too. So when you actually work in the studio, you always work with somebody else?
On the Jelly Jam projects, yeah, because it's a sound that comes from between us two. And when I do solo projects, it works totally different.
And have you actually built your own studio at home now? Yeah,
I've actually managed to do that because it was getting to the point where we needed to put a lot of stuff out, and going through other people just slows it down. So I got it together at home.
So tell me how you put a track together. I mean, have you got a sort of formula that you work to every time? I mean, do you begin with a rhythm track, or do you actually know what you're going to do before you do it?
No, totally not. Actually, it's more sort of a sort of weird sound in the head, and you just got a feeling to do something that is a bit weird, and try and do it as weirdest as possible.
Yeah. Okay, the second track we're going to listen to, The Pounder. Tell me about this one.
Well, this is probably Jelly Jam's the one that got the label most known for. But it was actually inspired by sort of cybersonic-y stuff that was around on Plus 8 at the time. I've got to admit that, but we just want to do something hard, but that used the sort of the old German influences as people like Final Cut around, and people just weren't taking any notice of them, so we'd sort of try to get that type of sound.
Right, okay, let's listen to The Pounder. This is Lloyd Owes Me a Packet. Okay, this is Colin Faver on Kiss FM. My special guest tonight, Luke Slater. What would you say your most important pieces of equipment are in the studio?
The most important piece of equipment is definitely the 909. And of course a sampler. But I mean, I think everything I do has to revolve around the 909.
Have you ever actually used breakbeats on any of your stuff?
Yeah, I have actually, but it's not something I like doing. But if they're used, they've got to be used in a way that they don't sound like the breakbeat you've used. You know, put a weird effect on them or something like that.
So how do you feel about the state of hardcore music in England at the moment?
What, the breakbeat hardcore? Not too good really. It was alright at first and there was some good stuff coming out, but I think maybe the wrong people sort of got hold of it and it's gone off on a weird tangent and very commercial now. But there are some good tracks there if you can find them.
A lot of the time to me, like, it seems to be the same stuff recycled over and over again.
Yeah, same breakbeat. Yeah.
Have you actually worked in Europe at all?
No, not yet. No, I think I should be over in France pretty soon. With Saskia Sledges from D-Jax going over there. But
how does the Jelly Jam stuff sell in Europe? Does it go down there?
That's where it goes down best. I mean, most of the sales from Jelly Jam have been over in Europe and that in Germany rather than over here. You know, they're well into stuff, get a lot of calls off them and that.
Well, the next track we're going to listen to, Morganistic. Now, I haven't actually heard this one before. Erdal Records. How did this one come together?
Well, Alan and me teamed up with a guy called Doug Martin, who had a rather plush studio. So we thought we'd create something very strange and sort of ambient, almost new age, and that's what came out of it.
Okay, let's listen. Morganistic in the Shadow on Erdal Records. What year was that one?
That was last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
Don't know how I missed that one. Okay, the next track we're going to play is Clementine from an EP on D-Jax Records. Now, how did this one come together? How did you meet up with D-Jax? Yeah.
Well, I've been talking to Saskia Sledges a lot through the shop because D-Jax is one of the main labels we sell down there. And I was working on some tracks at the time, sent them over, and she was into them, and away we went, sort of thing.
Right. A lot of the stuff they release is pretty obscure.
Yeah.
So you fit in just right. Okay.
Thanks.
Let's listen. Clementine, this is the opening. It's Colin Faver on Kiss FM. My special guest tonight, Luke Slater. You have 2 record shops on the South Coast, yeah?
Yeah, we've got 2 in there.
Whereabouts are they?
One's in Brighton, one's in Portsmouth.
Mm-hmm. And are they busy?
Yep, they're not bad, yeah. It's
You actually specialise in dance music, or do you cover everything with the shop?
well, the Brighton shop, which is the main shop, just only sells pure techno. It's like all the German hard techno, the Detroit techno, any British techno that is good, but apart from that, it doesn't touch anything.
Going back to Jelly Jam, have you actually had any other artists on the label apart from yourself?
No, not yet. That's something we're hoping to do, probably later this year.
So do you know of any other people getting stuff together on the South Coast, for instance?
Yeah, there's there wasn't a lot about a year ago, but now there's there's about 3 people that I've been talking to regularly that are actually coming up with good stuff. But the problem is that that they haven't had the studio to do it in. But now, some people are getting little studios together, and it's all coming out now.
So if people wanted to send you tapes, you'd be willing to listen?
Yeah, I'll put my ears around them, definitely.
Okay, so if anybody wants to send any tapes, then they can send them via me, and I'll give you the address later on. Okay, next track we're going to listen to, we're coming right up to date now, in fact, with a new Luke Slater EP on Peace Frog Records.
Mm-hmm.
Why Peace Frog?
Well, Pete from Peace Frog gave us a bell over Christmas because he'd heard the D-Jax one actually, and he liked it, and then he wanted me to do an EP, and I was quite into it, so I was working on some hard.
Colin Faver on Kiss FM. We're talking to Luke Slater from Jelly Jam from the South Coast. Is there any other artists you actually would like to work with, you know?
I think perhaps maybe I'll work with some of the Detroit guys and some of the German guys, but to be quite honest, there isn't many people over here that I would want to work with, but then again I find it hard to work with a lot of people anyway. It's kind of a personal thing.
What do you think of the techno scene at the moment in England? It seems to me to be a good stage at the moment. It seems to be growing and growing.
Yeah. Over the last sort of 6 months, it's definitely on its way.
Have you noticed you've been selling more of the records?
Yeah. So a lot of people changing over to it as well, which is a good thing.
Tell me about any other current projects you're involved with.
Well, there's a new label that a friend of mine's starting called Space Opera Records, and we got some tracks together for that. That's going to be just pure techno as well, and that should be around in a couple of months. And there's another DJ that's coming out in summer, hopefully. But apart from that, we're really sort of want to get working on the Jelly Jam thing now. Things have all come back together with it, and later this year, we should be.
You had a few problems.
Sort of problems, really. After the last Translucent, we decided to hold it there and just get everything in perspective, so we can actually get tracks out fast when they needed to get out, which we couldn't do before. And that's what we've been really doing, spending our time doing. But that seems to have worked out now. So
is that the reason these two latest releases are not on Jelly Jam?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. But I really wanted to put other tracks on different labels as well.
Right. Okay. The final track we're going to listen to is a new release on Man on the Moon Records. It's the second release on that label. How did this one come together?
Well, I had some very weird tracks actually, and Amanda, who runs Man on the Moon, I've known for a while, and she just really started the label last year. So she liked the tracks, and we went for that as well.
Oh, great. Okay, let's listen. This is Astral Adventures of RK1 and Directical. Astral Adventures of RK1, that's a brand new EP coming out on Man on the Moon. When's that released?
That'll be out in about 3 weeks.
Right, and the track we heard was Directical. Strange names you come up with. You must have quite a warped mind, actually.
Yeah.
How about live work? Have you done any live appearances?
No, not yet actually. It's something that's been on my mind though. But what I'm really against is people playing live, but they just put a DAT tape on and mine to, which is fine. But I want to create a live performance that is actually live, but it takes a lot of work. So
yeah, it does. It's also hard to make it interesting visually rather than two guys standing there with a computer. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it happens all the time. How about albums? Any plans?
Well, actually, General Productions. I've just been working on. Actually, I just finished an EP for them, and the next one that's going to be out on that. I've had a chat and decided he wants to go for a CD album of it really is sort of ambient techno,
right?
Which maybe is the way forward for like the ambient techno stuff because it never gets played in the clubs.
No.
So hopefully that'll be coming about soon as well. That'll be interesting. See what happens.
And how about actually producing other artists? Would you be interested in doing that?
Yeah, that's I've had that on my mind for the future, maybe.
Have you ever been asked?
No, I haven't actually. No.
Oh, maybe the offers will pour in now.
Well, you never know.
Okay, Luke. Well, thanks very much for coming in, and it's been really interesting hearing how it all came together. And wish you very much luck in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Luke Slater from Jelly Jam Records. Coming up next, Luke Slater master mixing for 30 minutes. Stand by.